Hello, book lovers and English learners. Welcome to Lydia's Book Club podcast, your weekly dose of reading in English. I'm Lizzie Burham, an English teacher in France and also the founder of Lydia's Book Club, a book club for learners of English and non-native English speakers who want to maintain their good level. In this book club, I host live readings and live discussions, workshops on adaptations of classics of literature and contemporary novels in their original text. I also tend to prioritize books that are written by women. Each month, we read and explore a different book for all levels of English. So, for the next months, in March and April, we are reading the original text of It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. This book was published in 2022, and for this book, you need a strong B2, upper intermediate, or C1 advanced level in English. With the members of the book club, we've decided to read this book because it is a sequel book of It Ends With Us, which is the book that we've read in January and February. So it just made sense to us to read the sequel book just after this one. So if you don't know anything about this book or the author Colleen Hoover, I invite you to listen to the podcast episode 30, which is available on this YouTube channel and on Spotify. I talk about Colleen Hoover's work and how she became an author, but also I give a little bit of background and context around It Starts With Us. But if you haven't read It Ends With Us before, you might feel a little bit lost. So if you want to read this book, I advise you to read this one first. So today it is session 10, and we're going to read chapters 19, 20, and 21. So 3 chapters today. A busy schedule. So if you would like to attend this live reading with me live on Zoom, you just need to subscribe to the newsletter to get your Zoom link for free. You can attend this Zoom call for free, and it will give you the chance to ask me any questions about the chapters that we've just read, or any questions about how the book club works as well. Also, on Saturday, the 26th of April, I will host the second live discussion workshop of based on this book. We will talk about chapters 15 to 25. So we will discuss 10 chapters. The live discussion workshop is only available for the members of the book club. It is a private conversation on Zoom, and this is a conversation that I don't post on Zoom, only for the members. So if you want to join us, that's amazing. You just need to become a member of the book club. You've got the link in the description, or you just go to lydisbookclub.com. And I strongly recommend you to be part of this book club or these workshops, because if you really want to have an opportunity to practice regularly your English and talk about books as well, if you're a book lover, then those two are brilliantly combined. So it will be the best way for you to practice your English and also improve your speaking skills, your fluency, gain more confidence, and get motivated to continue the reading of the book, because I will be guiding you, but also you will probably, and it will help you to read more as well. And finally, it's going to be a fantastic way to meet other members of the book club and meet new people. And last thing, if you're not sure yet about joining the book club, there is another option. So on my website, on the workshop store, you can purchase any of the previous live workshop that we've done in the past in the book club. Again, you've got the link in the description. You don't need to become a member for that. You just select the workshop that you want, the book that you're interested in. And on checkout, you will be asked to create your login. And with this login, you'll have access to the videos of the discussion workshops. And this way, you will be able to see how I run the discussion workshop, but also it will be a great way for you to read the book at the same time and at your own pace, especially if you can't commit to the live reading, the live discussion workshops every time or every month. So that being said, again, if you have any questions, feel free to email me or message me on Instagram or here, leave a comment. I'll be happy to answer you. So, as usual, I'm going to do a quick recap of of the previous chapters that we've read yesterday. So, yesterday we read chapter 17 and 18. So, here, I wasn't exactly well set up. Anyway, so in chapter 17, Atlas is the narrator of this chapter. And he is with, remember, he has brought Josh at his house. So to his house, sorry. So they are having a chat over breakfast, and Josh, and Josh tells Atlas that he wants to find his father, and that's one of the reasons why he left his mother, but also because she beats him. So that's a fairly good reason as well, considering. So the problem is that Atlas has no legal rights to keep Josh. Remember, Josh is only 11, no, 12. So Atlas unfortunately can't keep him. And although he asked his lawyer, his friend who is a lawyer, that he would like perhaps to have custody of Josh. The thing is that to be able to open a case against his mother and bring social services in, etc., he needs to be reproachable. So he needs to be clean, basically, so that he needs to do things the right way, because otherwise that could be held against him. So Atlas has to bring Josh back to his mother, although he hates this idea, and Josh definitely doesn't want to go back to his mother. So Atlas calls his mother, and is alluding the fact that maybe he could stay at his place, but unfortunately, his mother doesn't want that. And although she doesn't care about her son, clearly, just to fight Atlas, she doesn't want to give him what he wants. So she says no, and asks him to bring Josh back to her, to the room she's renting in the motel thing. So Atlas has to bring Josh back to her. And before Josh enters the hotel room, Atlas gives him a credit card so that he knows that he has a little bit of money in case she doesn't feed him, she doesn't do the grocery shopping. So Atlas gives Josh a credit card. He's only 12, he doesn't even know how it works, but it's just now this story is contemporary. So now the credit cards, with credit cards you can just swipe them, and then it's easy for, well, that's also the danger of it, is that you can easily use those credit cards. Anybody can just swipe. Luckily, there is a threshold, like a limit, but it's a 12-year-old can now use a credit card. Anyway, so he gave that to him. So that really shows that Atlas, in a way, trusts him, despite the fact that he vandalizes his restaurant, and he really wants to show his little brother that he trusts him, although he's been a complete jerk towards him. But he knows he's a kid, and what he's experiencing at home is reminding him of himself and how he struggled. So he doesn't want that for his little brother. So he said, but you definitely can't tell your mother, well, Sutton, that you have that credit card. You really have to hide it. So he hides it between the phone case and his phone. And then Josh goes back to his mother. Well, he knocks on the door and the hotel room, and Sutton opens the door and immediately slaps him. Josh fell on the floor, and she basically kicked him in the house and inside the room, and when Atlas sees that, he straight away walks up the stairs, and she throws his mother on the bedroom so that she is away from hurting her son, or his little brother. And then Josh then Atlas asks Josh to run to the car, go back to the car, and then Atlas follows him, and they drive off the parking lot, and then Atlas takes Josh to the hospital because he has a cut on his head, and he's worried that his brother has concussion. And Josh's reaction is like, okay, it's okay. I can usually tell when it's a concussion. So that says a lot about the way he's treated with his mother, and how often he's mistreated by his mother. But Atlas takes him anyway to the hospital. so that it is recorded in his file. And that's evidence for him later on. Chapter 18, Lily is our narrator in this chapter. And she is at the flower shop with Elisa. They're chatting, and she learns that Elisa and Marsha are not going to come to Lucy's wedding. You remember, Lucy is now an employee of Lily, and she's about to get married. And then Elisa and Lily are not arguing, but there is a misunderstanding with Elisa because she doesn't understand why Ryle would be specifically upset against Atlas and why he doesn't like Atlas. She doesn't have a full picture and all the information about what happened between Lily and Ryle and how Ryle got upset about against Lily. And so Lily tells her that Atlas and her had history and that she kept the little magnet and that Atlas was an important part of her life when she was young. And obviously, Riley is upset and is jealous against their relationship and their past together. And then Atlas pulls Lily to bring her lunch, and this is the first time that Atlas is going to have a proper chat with Alyssa and really getting to know her and him, and for Elisa getting to know him. So Lily is a little bit confused with the whole situation because when Atlas enters the shop, he's talking with Elisa because Lily is busy with a customer. So she welcomes him and starts chatting with him. So Lily is wondering what the hell, what there can be discussing about. So they have lunch. Well, no, he doesn't stay long. And eventually Lily invites him to Lucy's wedding before he left because Elisa hinted the fact that Lily was attending a wedding and that Atlas could be a nice guest, nice plus one, as we could say. And Lily is obviously taken by surprise and has to no other choice than just inviting him right now. So that's about it for chapter 18. So now chapter 19, and Atlas is our narrator. I have no idea if 12 is too young to take an Uber, but I didn't want to leave Josh at my place alone after school again. So I had one drop him off. Okay, one drop him. Okay. So I had one drop him off here. I won't drop him off here at the restaurant. Okay, so basically he left him at the restaurant. Won't drop him off. Uh, yeah, so he took him to the restaurant, basically. We discussed earlier this week that he would probably help out here to pay off the damages he accrued. I've been watching the Uber on a map, so I meet him out front. So I meet him out front. When he gets out of the car, he looks like a completely different kid from the one I met several days ago. He's wearing clothes that fit him. I took him for a haircut yesterday, and he is carrying a backpack full of books rather than cans of spray paint. I doubt Sutton would even recognize him if she saw him. How was school? Today was his second day at the new school. Yesterday he said it was okay, but didn't expand. It was okay. I guess that's as much as I'll get from a 12-year-old. I opened the door to my restaurant, and Josh pauses before walking in. He looks up at the building and assesses it. Funny how I slept here for 2 weeks, but this is the first time ever I'm walking through the entrance. I laugh and follow him into the restaurant. I'm excited for him to meet Theo, even though I haven't had a chance to tell Theo about Josh yet. Theo arrived a few minutes ago and came through the back right as I was heading toward the front to fetch Josh. Theo hasn't been to the restaurant since last week, and I haven't brought Josh around because I had to take some time off in order to attempt to get his life straightened out. When we walk through the double doors that lead to the busy kitchen, Josh pauses in wonder. He stares wide-eyed at the commotion. I'm sure the place is a lot different during the day than it was when it slept here at night. The door to my office is open, which means Theo must be in there doing his homework. I lead Josh in that direction, and he follows me as we make our way into the office. Theo is seated at my desk, reading. He looks up at me, then looks at Josh. He leans back in the desk chair and pulls in his chin. What are you doing here? What are you doing here? Josh asks Theo. Okay, so they're asking each other. They're asking each other. They're asking each other this like they know each other. Oh, that's an interesting turn of events. I didn't think they would. I didn't think they would, since the schools here are so big and there are so many. I wasn't even sure which school Theo attended. Do you know each other? Theo says to me. Yeah, he's a new kid at my school. Then to Josh, he says, but how do you know Atlas? Josh drops his backpack and nods his head toward me as he plops onto the sofa. He is my brother. Theo looks at me and then at Josh, then at me. Why didn't I know you had a brother? Long story, I say. Don't you think that's something your therapist should know about? You haven't been here all week, I say. I had math practice after school every day, he says. Math practice? How does one practice math? Josh pipes in. Wait, Theo is your therapist? Theo answers him with, yeah, but he doesn't pay me. Hey, hey, did you get... Whoop. Hey, did you get Trent for math? No, I got Sully, Josh says. I guess they talk about the teachers here. Bummer. Theo looks over at me and then back at Josh, then back at me. Have you never mentioned you have a brother? Theo can't seem to get past that fact, but I don't have time to explain it to him right now. The kitchen is running behind. Josh can tell you, I have a kitchen to run. And I leave them in the office and head back to help out with chits we are all the chits we are behind on. I like that they know each other, but I like it even more that Theo seemed comfortable around him. I know Theo much better than I know my little brother, and I feel like Theo would have had some sort of reaction if he was displeased to see Josh. About an hour later, the kitchen is fully staffed, and I have a few minutes to break free. When I walk into the office, Josh and Theo are having what looks like an intense discussion about a manga Theo is holding. He's holding. Sorry to interrupt. I motion for Josh to follow me. You finish your homework? Sure, he says. Sure. I don't know him well enough to know what kind of answer sure is. Is that a yes? A no? Mostly? Yes, he sighs, following me out of the kitchen. Mostly. I'll finish it tonight. My brain hurts. I introduce him to a few people in the kitchen, finishing with Brad. Josh, this is Brad. He's Theo's father. I gesture toward Josh. This is Josh, my little brother. Brad winkles his forehead in confusion, but says nothing. Josh has a debt to pay off. You have any work for him? I have a debt? Josh asks, befuddled. Crouton debt. Oh, that. Brad immediately puts two and two together. He nods. That's a nice English expression to put two and two. He connects the dots. He understands, well, who Josh is. He nods slowly and then says to Josh, You ever wash dishes? Josh rolls his eyes and follows Brad to the sink. I feel bad making him work, but I'd feel even worse if there weren't any consequences to the thousands of dollars he cost me. I'll let him do dishes for an hour and then we'll call it even. I mostly just wanted him out of my office so I could talk to Theo about him. I haven't had a chance to talk to him without Josh in the room. Theo is at my desk, stuffing papers into his backpack. I sit on the couch, prepared to ask him about Josh, but Theo speaks first. You kiss Lily yet? Always about me, never about him. Not yet. What the heck, Atlas? I swear you're so lame sometimes. How well do you know Josh? I asked, changing the subject. He's only been in school for 2 days, so not super well. We have a couple of classes together. How's he doing in that school? No clue. I'm not his teacher. I don't mean his grades. I mean his interactions. Is he making friends? Is he nice? Theo tilts his head. You're asking me if your brother is nice? Shouldn't you know? I just met him. Yeah, me too, Theo says. And you're asking me a loaded question. Kids are mean sometimes. You know that. Are you saying Josh is mean? There are different kinds of mean. Josh is the better kind of mean. I'm not following at all. Theo can see that, so he expands. He's like a bully to the bullies, if that makes sense. This conversation is making me uncomfortable. So Josh is king of the bullies? That sounds bad. Theo rolls his eyes. It's hard to explain, but I'm sure it's not surprising that I'm not the most popular kid in that school. I'm on the math team and he shrugs off the last word. But I don't have to worry about kids like Josh. When you ask me if he is nice, I don't know how to answer that because he isn't nice. But he isn't mean either. Or at least he isn't mean to the nice people. I don't speak up immediately because I'm trying to absorb all this information. I might be more confused than I was before this conversation, but it does make me feel good to know that Theo isn't scared of Josh. Anyway, Theo says, zipping his backpack. You and Lily, did it fizzle? You and Lily, did it fizzle out already? No, we're just busy. I'm going to a wedding with her tomorrow, though. You finally gonna kiss her? If she wants me to. Theo nods. Theo nods. She probably will, as long as you refrain. She probably will, as long as you refrain from saying anything cheesy like, look at the ships, let's lock lips. He's so teasing him. Um, I grab one of the couch pillows and throw it at him. I'm getting a new therapist who doesn't bully me. Chapter 20. Lily. It's challenging being the florist for a wedding and a guest. I've been running all day to make sure the flowers at the venue were set up the way Lucy wanted them. And on top of that, we're closing early for the wedding, so Serena needed help getting all the deliveries completed and onto the truck. By the time Atlas makes it to my apartment to pick me up, I'm not even close to being ready. I just received a text from him asking if he should come up. I'm sure he's cautious because everything is so new with us, and he doesn't know who might be here if he were to knock on the door and he'd want them to know. I'm sure he's cautious because everything is so new with us, and he doesn't know who might be here if he were to knock on the door. And if I'd want them to know Atlas is my date to the wedding. I was hesitant to invite him to the wedding for that very reason. But I'm confident no one at Lucy's wedding would even know Ryle. We run in different circles, and on the off chance they do know Ryle, and it might get back to him that I was with someone, the risk is worth the reward. I've been looking forward to this night since Atlas agreed to come with me. Come up, I'm still getting ready. She texts him. Atlas knocks at my door moments later. When I open the door to let him in, my eyes feel like they might double in size like they do in the cartoons. Wow! I'm staring at him all dressed up in his black designer suit. He stands in the hallway for longer than I normally make someone wait before inviting them in because I forget basic things like hospitality when I'm in his presence. He's holding a bouquet, but it isn't flowers. It's cookies. He hands them to me. Figured you get enough flowers, he says. He leans in and kisses my cheek, and I want to tilt my face just enough so that his lips land on mine. But hopefully I won't have to be patient for much longer. These are perfect, I say, motioning for him to enter. Come in. I need like 15 minutes to get dressed. I've been so busy today, I haven't even had a chance to eat. I open one of the cookies and bite into it. Then, with a mouthful, I say, I'm sorry if this is tacky. I'm starving. I point toward my bedroom. You can wait in my room with me while I get ready. It won't take me long. Atlas is looking around, taking everything in as he follows me to my bedroom. My dress is laid out on the bed, so I pick it up and walk to my bedroom, to my bathroom. I leave the door cracked a bit so that I can talk to him while I change. Where is Josh? You remember Brad from that poker night? I do, actually. His son, Theo, is at my house with Josh. They go to school together. How's he liking school? I can see Atlas, but he's closer to the bathroom when he says, fine, I guess. It sounds like he's right next to the door. I slip the dress over my head and open the door further. I chose a mellow-colored fitted dress with spaghetti straps. Spaghetti straps. Spaghetti straps are very, very thin straps, I guess. Well, like here on the shoulder to hold the dress. It has a matching shawl. It has a matching shawl, but it's still hanging on the closet. Atlas looks me over when I appear on the doorway. His eyes journey up the length of me, but I don't give him time to compliment me. Can you zip me up? I give him my back and lift my hair, but I can feel him hesitate. Or maybe he's soaking in the moment. A couple of seconds later, I feel his fingers press against my back as he raises the zipper. He sends chills rolling over my skin. When he's finished, I drop my hair and turn and face him. I need to put on makeup. I start to back into the bathroom, but Atlas grips my waist. Whoa, this is it. Come here, he says, pulling me until eyes smush against him. He admires my face for a couple of seconds, smiling appreciatively, seductively, like he's about to kiss him. Oh, come on! Thank you for inviting me. I return the smile. Thank you for coming. I know you've had a busy week. Atlas' eyes look tired. The usual glimmer has dulled a little, like he has been stressed and could use a night of relaxation. I can't help but touch his cheek when I say, we can Uber there if you want. You seem like you could use a drink. Atlas touches my hand that's cupping his cheek. He tilts his face so that he can kiss the inside of my palm. Then he pulls my hand away and threads his finger through it. He opens his mouth to say something else, but I see it the second his eyes get a glimpse of my tattoo. Atlas has never seen the heart tattoo on my shoulder, the one I got because he always used to kiss me there. He touches it softly with his fingers, tracing the shape of it. His eyes flicker up to mine. When did you get this? Oh my God. My voice catches, and I'm forced to clear my throat. In college, I've thought about this moment a lot. What he would say if he ever saw it, what it would make him feel, how it would make him feel. He quietly regards me and then looks at that tattoo again. He's so close. I can feel his breath trickling across my collarbone. Why'd you get it? I got it for so many reasons, but I choose to say the most obvious one. Because I missed you. I wait for him to lower his head and press a kiss there like he's done so many times before. I wait for him to kiss me, to press his mouth to mine in a silent thank you. Oh my God! Atlas doesn't do any of those things. He continues staring at the tattoo for a bit, but then he releases his hold on me and turns away. His voice is detached when he says, you should probably finish getting ready, or we'll be late. Oh my God, what's going on? What's wrong with him? He takes a couple of steps toward my bedroom door, and then, without looking back, he says, I'll wait in the living room. I feel like I just got the breath knocked out of me. His entire demeanor changed. It wasn't at all what I expected from him. I stand frozen in place for a few depressing seconds. But then I force myself to finish getting ready. Maybe I misread his reaction and it wasn't a negative one. Maybe he liked it so much he needed alone time to process. Whatever the reason is for his unexpected reaction, I fight back the sting of tears the entire time I'm trying to do my makeup. I can't help it. I think my feelings might be hurt. And that's not something I expected to happen tonight at all. I go to my closet and find my shoes and grab my shawl. And I half expect Atlas to be gone when I walk out of my bedroom. But he's still there. He's still here. He's standing by the wall in the hallway, looking at pictures of Emmy. When he hears me exit the bedroom, he looks in my direction and then full on turns to face me. Wow. He looks genuinely pleased when I'm back in his presence, so the whiplash is a little confusing. You're beautiful, Lily. I appreciate his compliment, but I can't move past what just happened. And if there's one thing I've learned from the relationship I was in before and the relationship I witnessed between my parents, is that I refuse to be someone who brushes everything under a rug. I don't even want there to be a rug. Why did my tattoo upset you? My question catches him off guard. He fidgets with his tie and seems to be looking for an excuse, but nothing comes to him, and the hallway remains silent, other than a ragged, slow breath he pulls in. It wasn't the tattoo. What is it? Why are you mad at me? I'm not mad at you, Lily. He says that convincingly, but he's not the same after seeing the tattoo, and I don't want us to start out with lies. Apparently he doesn't either, because I can see him working through what to say to me next. He looks uncomfortable, like he doesn't want to have this conversation, or at least he doesn't want to have it right now. He shoves his hands in the pockets of his pants and sighs. That night, I took you to the emergency room. They bandaged up your shoulder while we were there. His voice sounds pained, but when he makes eye contact with me, that pained sound is nothing compared to the turmoil in his expression. I heard you tell the nurse he bit you, but I wasn't close enough to see that. Atlas pauses mid-sentence and swallows hard. I wasn't close enough to see that you had the tattoo and that he bit. Atlas stops speaking again. He's so upset he can't even finish his sentence. He just moves on to another one. Is that why he did it? Because he read your journals and you got the tattoo for me? My knees feel shaky. I can see why Atlas didn't want to have this conversation. It's too much for a casual chat while we are on our way to the door. I press a hand flat against my nervous stomach, prepared to answer him, but it's hard to talk about, especially knowing how upset it's making Atlas on my behalf. I don't want to hurt him, but I also don't want to lie to him or protect Ryle in any way, because Atlas is right. That's exactly why Ryle did what he did, and I hate that Atlas will now forever pair my tattoo with that awful memory. My lack of response is enough confirmation for him. He winces and turns away from me. I can see deep breath. I can see the deep breath he forces himself to take, to take in order to remain calm. He looks like he wants to explode, but Riley isn't here for him to explode on. Atlas is so angry. Sorry, I lost. Atlas is so angry, but this is an anger I'm not afraid of. I, I realize the significance of this moment. I'm alone with an angry man in my apartment, but I'm not in fear for my life because he isn't angry at me. He's angry at the person who hurt me. It's a protective anger, and there is a world of difference between my reactions to Riot's anger versus my reaction to Atlas's anger. When Atlas turns to me again, I can see the hard set of his jaw and the veins in his neck when he says, "How am I supposed to be civil around him, Lily?" There's guilt in his voice when he whispers, "I should have been there for you. I should have done more." I can understand the anger, but Atlas has absolutely nothing to feel guilty for. I wasn't at that point in my life where Atlas could have said or done anything to change my views of Ryle. I had to get to that point on my own. I walked closer to Atlas and pressed my back into the wall across from him. He does the same on the opposite wall until we're facing each other. He's working through a lot of emotions right now, and I want to give him the space to do that. But I also have a lot to say about the guilt Atlas is holding on to. The first time Ryle hit me, it was because I laughed at him. I was tipsy and I thought something was funny that wasn't funny, and he backhanded me. Atlas has to break eye contact after hearing me say that. I don't know if he wants these details, but I've been wanting to say all this to him for a long time. He remains still against the wall, but it looks like it's taking everything in him not to run straight to wherever Ryan is right now. His eyes are sharp when he looks back at me, waiting for me to finish. The second time he pushed me down the stairs, that argument started because he found your number hidden in my phone case. And when he bit me on my shoulder, you're right. It was because he read the journals and out found out my tattoo was because of you, and that the magnet I kept on my refrigerator was from you. I looked down briefly because it's hard seeing how much this is affecting him. I used to think the things I did somehow warranted his reactions. Like maybe if I wouldn't have laughed, he wouldn't have hit me. Maybe if I didn't have your number in my phone, he wouldn't have gotten angry enough to push me down a flight of stairs. Atlas isn't even looking at me anymore. His head is leaned back against the wall and he's staring at the ceiling, taking everything in, frozen in his anger. Every time I would start to take on the guilt and justify Raya's reactions, I would think about you. I would ask myself what your reaction would have been compared to Raya's, because I know it would have been different. If I would have laughed at you under the same circumstances that I laughed at Raya, you would have laughed with me. You never would have backhanded me. And if any man on this planet gave me their phone number as a way to protect me from someone they feared was dangerous, you would appreciate them for that. You wouldn't have pushed me down a flight of stairs. And if the journals I let you read were about another boy in high school besides you, you would have teased me. You probably would have highlighted lines you thought were cheesy and laughed about them with me. I stop speaking until Atlas brings his focus back to mine, and then I finish. Every time I would doubt myself and think that what Ryle did to me was in any way deserved, all I had to do was think about you, Atlas. I think about how differently each scenario would have been if it were you. And that helped me remember that none of it was my fault. You're a big part of the reason I got through. I got through it, even though you weren't there. Atlas silently soaks up everything I've said for maybe 5 seconds. But then he closes the distance between us and kisses me. Finally, finally. His right hand curls around my waist, and he tugs me against him, his tongue sliding gently and warmly against my lips, coaxing his way past them. His left hand snakes its way through my head until he's molding his palm to the back of my head. A spool of yearning begins to unravel inside me. He doesn't kiss me with any trepidation. His mouth meets mine with confidence, and mine responds to his with relief. I pull at him, wanting his warmth to sink into me. His mouth and his touch are familiar, since we've done this dance before, but completely new at the same time, because this kiss is made up of a whole new set of ingredients. Our first kiss was made of fear and youthful inexperience. This kiss is hope. It's comfort. It's safety and stability. It's everything I've been missing in my adult life, and I'm so happy, Atlas and I, of each other again. I could cry. Chapter 21. Atlas. Yeah, so that's the last chapter of today. Bear with me. There have been a lot of things in my life that have made me angry, but nothing filled me with rage like seeing Lily's tattoo and the faded scars that circled it in the shape of a bite mark. How many men can do that to a woman? I'll never understand how any human can do that to a human they're supposed to love and want to protect. I will never understand. But what I do understand is that Lily deserves better, and I get to be the one to give her better. Starting with this kiss that we can't seem to stop. Every time we pause to look at each other, we go right back to kissing like we have to make up for all the lost time in this one kiss. I trail kissing down her jaw until I meet her collarbone. I've always loved kissing her there. But until I read her journal, I didn't know she was aware of how much I loved kissing her there. I press my lips to her tattoo, determined to make sure she remembers the good parts of us in all the future kisses I'm going to give her in this spot. If it takes a million kisses for her not to think about the scars that surround her heart tattoo, then I'll kiss her there 1,000,001 times. I press kisses up her neck, then her jaw. When I'm looking at her again, I slide the shoulder strap of her dress back in place because as much as I could stay right here for hours, I'm supposed to be taking her to a wedding. We should go, I whisper. She nods, but I kiss her again. I can't help it. I've been waiting for this moment since I was a teenager. I can't really say how the wedding went because I was more focused on Lily than anything else. I didn't know anyone there, and after finally kissing Lily tonight, it was hard to focus on anything other than wanting it to happen again. I could tell Lily craved to be alone with me as much as I wanted to be alone with her. Being forced to patiently sit next to her after what happened between us in her hallway was torture. As soon as we got to the reception and Lily saw how crowded it was, she was relieved. She said Lucy would never know if we left early. She was, sorry, she said Lucy. Oh, yeah, it's Atlas speaking. Oh, sorry. She said Lucy would never know if we left early, and I don't even know Lucy, so I wasn't about to argue with her when, after less than an hour of mingling, she grabbed my hand and we slipped out. We've just pulled back up to Lily's apartment complex, and while I'm almost positive she wants me to go upstairs with her, I'm not going to assume. I open her door and wait for her to put her shoes back on. She took them off and wait for her to put her shoes back on. She took them off in the car. She took them off in the car because they were hurting her feet, but they looked difficult to fasten. There are strings, and Lily is struggling with them in the passenger seat. I doubt she wants to walk barefoot on the parking garage floor, though. I can carry on my back. She glances up at me and laughs like I'm joking. You want to you want to give me a piggyback ride? Yeah, grab your shoes. She stares at me for a moment, but then she grins like she's excited. I turn around and she's still laughing when she wraps her arms around my neck. I help her hoist herself onto my back and then I kick the car door shut. When we make it to her apartment, I lean forward so she can use her key to unlock her door. Once we're inside, she's laughing when I lower her to her feet. I turn around just as she drops her shoes and starts to kiss me again. Picking up right where we left off, I guess. What time do you need to be home? She asks. I told Josh 10 or 11. I look at the clock and it's just after 10. Should I call him and tell him I might be late? Lily nods. You're definitely gonna be late. Call him and I'll make us drinks. She walks to the kitchen. So I take out my phone and call Josh. I video chat him so that I can make sure he's not throwing a party at my house. I doubt Theo will let him, but I'm not taking any chances with either of those two. When Josh answers the video call, the phone is lying on the floor. I can see his chin and the light from the TV. He's holding a controller. We're in the middle of a tournament, he says. Just checking in. Everything is okay? Everything okay? It's fine. I hear Theo yell. Josh starts shaking his remote, hitting buttons, but then he yells, Shit! He tosses the controller aside and picks up the phone, bringing it closer to his face. We lost! Theo appeals behind him. That doesn't look like a wedding. Where are you? I don't answer him. I might be late tonight. Oh, are you at Lily's? Theo says, moving closer to the phone screen. He's grinning. Did you finally kiss her? Can she hear me? What line did you use to get her to invite you in? Lily, we watched people wed. Let's hop into bed. I immediately end the call before he finishes that rhyme. But Lily heard that whole conversation. She's standing a few feet away from me, holding two glasses of wine. Her head is tilted in confusion. Who was that? Theo. How old is he? 12. You talk to a 12-year-old about us? She seems amused by this. I take a glass of wine from her, and right before I sip it, I say, He's my therapist. We meet every Thursday at 4. She laughs. Your therapist is in junior high? Junior high is like middle school. Yeah, but he's about to get fired. I wrap my hand around Lily's waist and pull her to me. When I kiss her, she tastes like the red wine she poured. I kiss her deeper to get more of that taste, more of her. When she pulls back, she says, "This is weird." I don't know what she's referring to as weird. I hope she's not referring to us because weird is the last word used to describe this. What's weird? Have you here? Not having a kid here. I'm not used to free time or guy time. She takes another sip of her wine and then separates from me. She sets her wine glass on the counter and walks toward her bedroom. Come on, let's take advantage of it. I follow her lead entirely too quickly. Oh my gosh, this is it. This is the end of the chapter. I expected more of their thing that perhaps we'll have more in Lily's chapter. Yes, yes. Um, so I guess here you would like to read chapter 22, but that will have to wait. And it seems like Lily is continuing that uh, how to say oh sorry, I lost the word that intercourse. So this is the end of chapter 21. So I follow her lead entirely too quickly. Okay. So I guess the wedding, I thought that we would have had more details around Lucy's wedding, but it's just like a background thing, and they didn't stay that long in the end. So that shows that Lily and Lucy are not so or aren't as close as well, they're not that close anyway, since well, similarly to the first book. But uh anyway, finally, we've got our kiss, our moment, finally, in chapter 20 or 20. Yeah, in chapter 20. So that's sweet. Anyway, I hope you enjoy that live reading again. And that you be able to join me next time live on Zoom. If you have any questions or any comments about the reading of these chapters, please feel free to leave any comment or like this live reading if you enjoyed it. Our next live reading will be next Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Central European Time on Zoom. We will read chapters 22 and 23. And in the meantime, have a lovely end of the week and see you next week. Bye bye.